Hey there, my name's Jim. I collect graded magazines, specifically Sports Illustrated issues, and then I get them graded and I unbox them here on YouTube. So I always know what these issues are, but I never know what the grades are. So you get my reaction, either good or bad, genuinely, my authentic, genuine reaction here on these videos, these unboxing videos. So while I'm digging these out here, I get DMs and comments and messages all the time. People are like, Jim, why don't you collect subscription issues? Because you only collect newsstand issues, and that's all you talk about. And I wish you talk more about subscription issues, because I got 1,000 Sports Illustrateds in my basement, and they all have mailing labels on them. That's why I don't collect subscription issues, because everybody's got 1,000 of them in their basement. Sports Illustrated has said they produce 2 to 3 million subscription copies of every issue every week. It just makes them really, really common. So I only collect newsstand issues. Sports Illustrated said they only produced about 50 to 100,000 newsstand issues. It varied over the years. And most of those newsstand issues just didn't survive. So I collect newsstand issues because they're rare. Doesn't mean you can't collect subscription issues. I'm not a snob when it comes to that. I'm a snob when it comes to my own grades and my own collection. But not what other people do. If you want to collect subscription issues, knock yourself out. You want to create your own YouTube channel and do unboxing videos with subscription issues? Awesome. I'll support it. I'll watch them. But it's just not my thing. It's just not. It just doesn't interest me that. But if you're into them, knock yourself out. Okay, 6 slabs in this box. I got a chance to have some really big. A couple of these could be really big and a lot of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4 first covers. Couple of those I've never owned before. So we're thinking one of those first covers, I really want a 9.8 on it. So we'll see. Let's go. Rock and roll. First one up. Let's start off with a banger. Okay. 8.0 seems a little harsh. I've been getting some really aggressively low grades from CGC recently. But this one's okay. John Daly's first Sports Illustrated cover. See that at 8.0. I love this issue. This came out on August 19th, 1991. This 8.0 is a pop 1 of 1, none higher. There's several others out there graded. I had this projected at a 9.0, so I was way off on my projection. Like I said, CGC's been really beating me up over grades lately. Just had this one in a recent video at 6.0, so this is a nice upgrade from that. You know, it was funny, in the other unboxing video where I had this one at 6.0, I said that John Daly was really the first guy to hit, over 300 yards off the tee on a consistent basis. And I had a couple people that messaged me and were like, that's not true. There were these other guys that were regularly hitting, really big ones off the tee before John Daly. So I did some research on this because I knew I was right. So according to the PGA, in 1997, he became the first tour player to ever average 300 yards plus off the tee box for an entire season. So John Daly really was the first of the big hitters. Now everybody crushes him over 300 yards for the most part. But I love this issue. John Daly, first cover, Sports Illustrated 8.0 from August 19th, 1991. Love John Daly. He's still out there golfing on the senior tour, smoking Marlboro Red, slamming Miller Lights on the golf course. Love seeing it. Okay, next up. That's way off of my projections as well. Okay, so this is Ron Darlin's first Sports Illustrated cover. This came out on August 25th, 1986. There is a 7.0. I projected this at a 9.4, so again, my projections have been not good lately. Or CGC's grading has been extra tough lately, one of the two. As a Cubs fan, I don't know why I've just kind of become more and more interested in the 86 Mets team, and I shouldn't be, because I freaking hate the Mets, and especially hate the 86 Mets, again, as a Cubs fan. I got a lot of respect for that team, and they were fun to watch, and they had some great players on that team. Of course, that World Series was so exciting and awesome. So, Ron Darlin, first Sports Illustrated cover, August 25th, 1986. There is a 7.0, but this 9.0 right here is a pop 1 of 1, none higher. 86 Mets. Who would have thought that I, as a collector, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, 86 Mets. Who knows? Just kind of funny how you get into something and what you find interesting after, years of being a fan of something else. Okay, next up. Oh, there it is again. There it is again. again. And why do I say again? Because I have this one in 9.8 already, and I absolutely love it. This is one of my favorite issues. So much awesomeness happening here. Megatron, Calvin Johnson, first Sports Illustrated cover, October 10th, 2011. There are now two 9.8s. I own both of them. And there's a couple out there that have been graded. This is a one of two variant cover. So let's take a minute and talk about what I mean when I say a variant cover. So starting in the 90s, and they didn't do it a whole lot in the 90s, but they really ramped it up in the 2000s and really did a ton of them in like the 2010s. Sports Illustrated would produce the same magazine, but they would produce different covers, and they would distribute them regionally around the country. And a lot of times they would produce 2 covers or 3 covers, although sometimes they'd produce 6, 7, 8, 10 different covers and distribute them all across the country regionally. So what that means is Sports Illustrated they weren't producing more newsstand copies. They were pretty much producing the same number of copies, but you just had different people on the covers. So when you have a variant, it's going to be more rare. There's going to be fewer of them out there. So I love variants for all Sports Illustrated covers. But when it's a variant first cover, you're combining 2 key aspects of collectability in pretty much anything. We're talking about that first cover, and then we're talking about that first cover being more rare. So that's why I love variant first covers. This is a one of two variant. I'm not quite sure who was on the other cover that week. I was always a big Megatron, Calvin Johnson fan. I got a little bit of love in my heart for the Detroit Lions because I lived in the Detroit metro area for a number of years when they were terrible, which could have been any time in the last 60 years because they've stunk forever. But I lived there when Barry Sanders was playing, so I went to a ton of Lions games at the Silverdome and got to see Barry Sanders in person, and he was just absolutely electric. Calvin Johnson, number 2 pick overall by the Lions in 2007. He was really one of the first kind of big, huge receivers. Receivers traditionally for years in the NFL have been these little fast guys. Calvin Johnson was 6'5", 239. One of the first big wide receivers to kind of pop in the league and start dominating. He went in the Hall of Fame in 2021. Still holds 2 NFL records. Most yards in a season at 1,964 and most consecutive 100-yard games with 8. My projected on this was a 9.6 because I no longer project 9.8. But I love 9.8. So let's talk about a couple things. We've got our labeling. First, Calvin Johnson Sports Illustrated cover. I asked them to put Megatron on there. They still haven't done that. And because it's a variant, they have now broken these out. So it says Calvin Johnson cover. That's where they list this as a variant. So if you go into the CGC census, this one will be broken out separately from the other cover that was produced that week. Again, that's critical for us in this hobby. So we know when there's multiple covers in the same week, we know, okay, this is how many Calvin Johnson covers there are. And this is how many, other athletes that were on the cover that same week. So now that the labeling has been done here, both first Calvin Johnson cover and the variant has been broken out. If you send this issue in, you don't have to make that request to CGC because I've already done it. So now anybody that gets this graded in the future will have that labeling on there. And that's, that's what we're looking for in this hobby is consistency like that. All right. That was nice. 9.8 Calvin Johnson. That was pretty to see. I would like to see more of that. Let's keep these 9.8 good times rolling. And we did. This is the one. This is the one. It's a good box. This is a good box so far. John Daly, first cover, Pop 101, none higher. Megatron, first cover, 9.8. Ichiro, 9.8 first cover. So this issue came out on May 28th, 2001. There are now 10 9.8s, 12 9.6s, 10 9.4s. 2001 was his Major League Baseball rookie season. He played in Japan for years before that, but it was his MLB rookie season. He broke the rookie record with 2,112 hits, a record that stood since 1927. And one that he still holds today. 350 average and 56 stolen bases. He was the first to lead the league in both categories as a rookie. Anybody. He was the first person to lead the league in batting average and stolen bases since Jackie Robinson in 1949. He's going to be eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2025. I think he's pretty much a lock. I had this projected at 9.6 because, like I said before, I don't project 9.8s anymore. But this Ichiro, 9.8, beautiful. Got the labeling. First Ichiro Suzuki Sports Illustrated cover. Awesome. All right. I feel like I was due for a box with multiple 9.8s. I've had some painful unboxing videos lately that haven't been, haven't been that great. And so I was due for a box with multiple 9.8s. And this is good. Hey, let's keep it going. Let's see how many 9.8s we can get. Not a 9.8, but a 9.2 Muhammad Ali cover. Yeah, I'm going to take that every single time. Every single time. So this is March 1st, 1976. Here are the pop reports on this one. 7.5. Until today, that was the highest graded copy of this issue. 7.5. There's a 7.0. There's a couple of 6.5s. I projected this at a 9.4. So I was within one grading tier and completely happy about that. Why are there so few high graded copies of this issue? Well, you can see all this black ink. That makes it very, very condition sensitive. Lots of black ink along the spine. If there's any sort of flaw at all, it's just going to come screaming out, and the grader is going to catch it every single time. So whenever you've got a lot of black ink on a cover or on the back or both, it's going to be a really condition sensitive issue. So Ali had just beaten Jean-Pierre Koopman with a 5th round knockout when this issue came out. Koopman was referred to in this fight as kind of a glorified sparring partner. So after the Ali-Frazier fight, which was 4 months before this, Ali won that in a 14-round TKO. Ali kind of came out and said, all right, I need something easy for my next fight. So they, put this, chump Jean-Pierre Koopman up there, and Ali knocked him out in the 5th round. March 1st, 1976, Muhammad Ali. Ali's roadshow rolls on. 9.2, pop 1 of 1, none higher. Okay, so I got one left. And this has been a great box so far. This has been a great box so far. So I had the Ron Darling, pop 1 of 1, none higher. John Daly, first cover, pop 1 of 1, none higher. 9.8 Calvin Johnson, 9.8 Ichiro, 9.2 Muhammad Ali, pop 1 of 1, none higher. This one's going to be tougher. But let's see if we can do the same thing. Let's see if we can get another 9.8 or a pop 1 of 1, none higher on the last one. Not quite. 9.4. So this is Baggett Michael Jordan Sports Illustrated cover from March 14th, 1994. There are two 9.6s. That's what I was really pushing for. I really wanted a 9.6 on this because I own it at 9.4. So there's two 9.6s. There are now 5 9.4s. I own 2 of those. And there are 4 9.2s. I had projected this at a 9.2, so I'm happy with the 9.4. A little bummed I couldn't have gotten that 9.6 and had one of the highest graded copies out there. This is Michael Jordan cover number 28. Just saw this one on an unboxing video not too long ago. Traditionally, this is the only baseball cover for Michael Jordan. Traditionally, I'd always not really liked this issue. This has always been one of my least favorite Michael Jordan Sports Illustrated covers because it's dogging on him. I mean, Michael Jordan was my idol growing up. I want to celebrate Jordan and all his amazing accomplishments and how awesome he is. I don't want a cover where they're saying, you stink, get the hell out of here. But as time has gone on, I've really come to love this cover, and I really think that this cover is really one of his more collectible covers, especially from the middle 90s part of his career, and that's because the story behind it. So the story behind it is the guy that wrote the article totally dogged Michael. You stink at baseball. I'm going to summarize it for you here. You stink at baseball. You never should have quit basketball. Get the hell out of here. And then after the article came out, the guy who wrote it was interviewed and said, look, I blew it on that article. I had in my mind going into that interview what Michael Jordan's skill level was in baseball, and that's how I wrote that article. And after spending time and watching him play, I really shouldn't have wrote it because he was a lot better than the information I gave in the article. And I'm sorry, blah 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 blah. Jordan said, "Screw you! I don't give a crap. You're out." We all know Jordan takes that crap personally. And ever since this article came out, Michael Jordan has never given another interview with Sports Illustrated. So I think the story behind this cover makes this one a lot more enjoyable to me, and I think it makes it a lot more collectible to a lot of other collectors too. So pretty good. Bag it, Michael. March 14th, 1994 at 9.4. Good box. Really appreciate you watching. This was a good one. I was due for a really rock solid box. We got more of them coming. If you have not seen my new video series called One and Done, go back on my YouTube channel and check those out. I take a deep dive into one issue of Sports Illustrated, talk about some stories, pop reports, recent sales, that sort of stuff. So that series is called One and Done, and you can find it here on my YouTube channel, and really appreciate you watching. Thank you. Thank you.